Republicans are desperate to quell any sort of momentum Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez might have for a potential 2028 presidential run.
Then you got Mamdani, then you got the squad, then you got AOC and the squad, then you got Jasmine Crockett, your friend Pocahontas. Those are the leading voices now of the Democratic Party. Chuck Schumer doesn't say anything. He's scared to death of them all.
Well, look, I don't hate anyone, Sean, but Congresswoman Ocasio-Cortez is a creation of the media. She checks all the boxes. She's young. She's liberal. She's attractive. She's ethnic. Her problem is that she's shallow as a puddle. You scratch the surface and you just get more surface. For her recent conduct, which you talked about, she gets and deserves a certificate of hypocrisy. And I would remind her that it's not your beliefs that make you a good person. It's your behavior. Watch what politicians do, not what they say. Ocasio-Cortez is the leader of the Democratic Party today. Some might say Senator Schumer. But
Schumer's at a 17% approval rating today. 17. Democrats are in the 20s.
Yeah. I think it's Congresswoman Ocasio-Cortez. And as I said before, she's entitled to her opinions. My personal opinion is that God gave her a billy goat brain and a mockingbird mouth. I mean, look, I believe in the power of ideas, and my Democratic colleagues have no ideas. All they have is hatred for one man, even when he's right, and that's President Trump. And I don't think that's healthy for them. I don't think that's healthy for America. In terms of the Congresswoman, look, I encourage her to run. I hope she does run. I understand. I listened to her speech. I understand her slogan is going to be change begins with a mustard seed, which I think is interesting. I guess if Governor Pritzker runs, his slogan will be you can have a tummy and still be yummy. I don't know. I just think with the Congresswoman, if you scratch the surface, you get more surface. I don't think she has the intellectual firepower to run a campaign to be president, but I hope she does.
AOC's Stop Oligarchy tour with Bernie wasn't just for show. It raised real issues and it offered actual solutions. And that's exactly what terrifies the establishment. Not the headlines, not the trolling, but the possibility that ordinary people could actually be mobilized to push a bold agenda.
One of the things that we need to do is to talk to people directly. Also, guess what? There need to be Democrats who walk the walk and talk the talk. There is an insane amount of hypocrisy, and the hypocrisy is what gets exploited to use the cynicism. And wherever there's a hypocritical window, for example, I think one of the most biggest examples of this is insider trading in Congress.
Dude, I don't know if do I give snaps? I don't know what the kids do anymore, but dude.
It is
that's so crazy.
It's so crazy.
It's crazy.
It's crazy. I mean, and this is the thing. It's like people think that everyday people are stupid. I'm like, do you all really think that people don't see this?
They sit on a committee, they get information about a drug or a contract or a thing. They immediately make a call. The stockbroker changes things and their portfolio swells.
Explodes. It explodes.
What are we doing?
And you're doing this on public trust.
Right.
On taxpayer finance, public, facilities. Of course.
You're regulating the market that you're trading on.
Exactly. And
you run the casino.
And then we're supposed to act like money doesn't only corrupts Republicans? Give me a break.
We're lucky we're not in the same room because I think we might have high-fived. I really think we may have disturbingly high-fived in that moment.
If you have a Medicare Advantage plan, which is the for-profit version of Medicare, you've definitely dealt with prior authorization. In fact, in 2023, Medicare Advantage for-profit health insurers filed over 100 times more prior authorization requests than traditional Medicare. And Medicare Advantage plans also deny care to patients at significantly higher rates than normal. Medicare Advantage plans deny as much as 16 times the normal rate. Does this sound consistent with some of what you've seen, Dr. Mello?
Yes, I believe that's what numerous reports have indicated.
And this is all to restrict patient care because we have a profit margin to maintain. And many of those for-profit insurers use unregulated and unsupervised AI models to review prior authorization requests. And I think it's very important that people understand that this is happening, that AI is being rolled out in the industry so that when a doctor who has gone through 4 years of medical school in addition to their additional training, say that a patient needs something and they submit a prior authorization request, many times an AI model may deny them that care to a human being who has gone through extensive medical training. If anyone says, this isn't fair, I'm going to have to divest all my stocks if I'm going to run for Congress, maybe you should stay home. I think that, as someone, I ran for office, I was a waitress, plenty of people have to make tons of sacrifices to run for office. But I think that really the idea that this is some undue burden is outrageous.
Mike Johnson on the television saying, we got to stop all these able-bodied men from being on Medicaid.
We have to eliminate people on, for example, on Medicaid who are not actually eligible to be there.
Only 2% of people on Medicaid are able-bodied and looking for a job. Only 2%.
Able-bodied workers, for example, young men who should never be on the program at all.
First of all, like it's a crime for someone to have health care in America. Healthcare is a human right in America, and everyone should have it. Everyone should see a doctor. We must end the indignity of not being able to afford medicine, a doctor's appointment, being able to take care of one another.
Republicans and even the Democratic establishment are nervous about someone like AOC. She's not perfect, she'll bend to the establishment when the pressure is on, and that has happened. But even those moments don't erase the fact that she's fundamentally too independent, too bold, and too willing to push real ideas that make career politicians uncomfortable. Unlike career politicians like Gavin Newsom, who troll Republicans and make headlines, but never say anything that could actually really threaten the system, AOC speaks to real systemic problems. And that's why both sides are on edge. That's why John Kennedy is forever talking about how young, stupid, and naive he thinks she is. She has a real progressive vision for America, one that dares to imagine what's actually possible. Medicare for all, a government that works for everyone, and real systemic change, they're not just slogans for her. They're goals that she believes can actually be achieved.